Soccer, yes.
So now, man, let's end this score prediction. What are score predictions?
For me, in tomorrow's game,
Mm-hmm.
being at home, expect Ramsdale to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
And it will be a comfortable 2-0 win to the Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm predicting by the 3-0 to the Arsenal. Looking at defense right now, I don't expect us to concede. I mean, I think we've been slowly but surely working on that. And but man, are you also worried about the officiating, especially the new rules?
Yeah,
you know, we have new rules. You know, guys are just checking out, you know, yellow cards.
Yeah.
And then you see what now really pisses me off. But the VAR is a very good system. It's more like the rugby system, whereby okay, you're able to see exactly what's going on, but the people behind the VAR system are the ones who it's like.
There is a lot of inconsistency.
Reckless talk. Son of a gangster. Hey, reckless talk. But I got expensive habits. Don't step in salt. I'm a real one. Check my fabric.
Hey, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, down from Kenya Goodness TV, and you're back again, man. You're back again with Reed, the man himself.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah,
for game week 3.
Game week 3, and they are basically playing Fulham, and it's a home game, right?
It's a home game.
Yeah, so
at 5 p.m.
Yeah, 5 p.m.
East
African time. Yeah, man. So tell me, man. First of all, by the way, what do you make? I mean, what are you looking at by the for the game? First things first, actually, let's just get this out of the way. We beat these guys by the last year, both home and away. And if you remember very well, last year is actually when all these guys are quite lethal. They finished number, I think 7, 8.
Yeah,
I'm not
top
wrong.
10.
Top 10 by then in the Premier League.
Performance at home last season from Fulham.
And remember by then they're off relegation.
Yeah.
So it just shows you by the strides these guys have made, by the way. So quite an interesting game. Last year they're quite lethal, but if you remember very well, at home they really gave us a hard time.
Yeah, it was a very difficult game.
Very, 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 very difficult game.
We won by 2-1, scrappy win.
Yeah, it was quite a scrappy win by the. And if I remember the game quite well, because what's his name? Gabriel is actually the one who scored. You know, got a header, finished the thing. We managed to actually go away 2-1. But then now we went home and we beat them so comfortably. But
it was a comfortable win.
Such a comfortable
win. It was like we were in the training ground.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And we actually scared by thinking that these guys would give us a hard time. But it won 4-0, and that was towards the end of the season. Last season, that is. Yeah, so man, what do you make of it? I mean, what are you looking at? And remember, this time you actually Dan was telling me off camera that Mitrovic is actually not available. Yeah, man. So what do you make of the Fulham game tomorrow?
Well, for me, first to look at Fulham.
Yeah.
Fulham, they have played 2 games. They have, I think they have 1 point. I'm not sure. They lost the first game. The second game, I'm not sure what happened. But then, the way they have started the season, they are not the same Fulham that we saw
last season, right? Yeah.
We've also not had a good games. We have not started strongly like we started last season.
Yeah.
But then we've had 2 great wins, you know. We have our team spirit. You know, coming off from a game like last week's Crystal Palace game,
it has
been different. Yeah.
Yeah.
That game, I think there is a kind of switch that got put on in the mentality of our players. The way they fought for that victory. So for me, I believe they will turn up in a very different way in tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
And I expect a comfortable game from us tomorrow. I don't believe they will give us a hard time. We'll be at home.
Yeah.
And then coming off from this game from Crystal Palace, I believe that our boys will fight till the end for the win.
Yeah. So talking about the Crystal Palace game, if you noticed, Tomias actually got a red card. And if I did a video by there quite some time along this week, I was very, very furious by the officiating of the games that have been not only by the for the Arsenal games. I'm only complaining because
there's a lot of inconsistencies.
There's a lot of inconsistencies, and if I'm not wrong, I think I read somewhere that Tomias's red card was cancelled. Yeah, and but man, are you also worried about the officiating, especially the new rules? Yeah, you know, we have new rules. You know, guys are just checking out, yellow cards. And then you see what now really pisses me off. But the VAR is a very good system. It's more like the rugby system, whereby okay, you're able to see exactly what's going on. But the people behind the VR system are the ones who, it's like, they
There is
don't know
a
what
lot
they're
of
doing.
inconsistencies. You know,
Yeah.
if you look at last week's game, where Tomiyasu was red carded,
Yeah, the
not
second yellow.
not a
Yeah.
straight red card, but then the first yellow, he did not deserve to be given a yellow in the first one, because the time between the yellow and when he had the ball was 8 seconds.
8 seconds, man.
And there was times where throw-ins took longer than 8 seconds. There was up to 16 seconds.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of inconsistencies. You know, the second yellow, he never pulled the IU down.
He barely even touched him.
He barely touched him.
Yeah.
But then the same IU had pulled Saka down.
Yeah.
And he never even got a yellow.
He didn't even.
You know, so it is the inconsistencies that are happening right now in the Premier League that makes the game boring. And you know, as the fans, we just question the credibility of these referees and the FA as a body.
Yeah. So man, the officiating, but this is something that I think probably there's not to improve on, because it's really affecting. It's actually even messing up football. It makes the game become very boring. Like even me, the Crystal Palace game, that's a game that I was just on tenterhooks the whole time. But thank God we won the game. Now still on the same Crystal Palace game, we played the same system, but we played the first game versus Nottingham Forest, right? And we basically, one player that was played off position by there was Partey. First of all, Rage, man, what do you think of? I think we've talked about this, but just let us know what you think of the system.
Partey starting as a right back.
Partey starting at the right back, man. I mean, is it a system that you're comfortable with?
Well, first, this system for me, I believe Arteta is implementing this system to accommodate Havertz and Rice in the game. You know, for me, having Rice in the game is crucial, because you cannot spend 105 million for him to just be warming the bench.
Yeah, played very well by there versus
Crystal Palace. You saw how he played. He was a leader, you know.
Yeah.
At his
see the
age,
passion,
exactly. I feel like the 105 in that game felt like a steal from us.
Yeah.
So that system, Partey playing as a right back, is to accommodate Rice and Havertz in the game.
Havertz,
And you know, I really don't think I want to see Rice at the bench.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But at the same time, I still don't understand. I believe Rice's natural position is as a holding midfielder. But then now, he can also be played as a box-to-box midfielder. So that means Partey coming as a CDM, Ben White moving as a right back. Saliba, Magalhaes starting as centre backs. And then at the left back, we have
options, man.
Yeah, we have options. You can play Zinchenko, you can play
Kivior,
you can play Tomiyasu. So you
TN
see,
is actually by the going on.
TN is going.
Yeah.
So we can play all those three. And then now at this midfield, playing Partey, Rice, Odegaard. But then now here comes the challenge. Trossard has been so good. Trossard is an elite player. That one
all day, man.
He's a big baller. He's a big game player, and he always stands up. And so that is where my problem is, you know. So having Partey as a right back gives us that flexibility to play Rice in the game as a holding midfielder. But then now, if Arteta is going to remain with this system, I'm not a big fan. Let me just repeat this. I'm not a big fan of that system. But then if he's going to play that system tomorrow, I just need to see Trossard starting instead of Havertz. Yeah, we cannot have Trossard warming the bench all this while.
Man.
We need to see him in action.
Yeah, we definitely need to see him in action. So the other good news by there, I think any Arsenal fan wants to hear right now, is Gabriel Jesus actually is back on. He's back. Not actually even back in training, but he's actually available for selection in tomorrow's game. Most probably not good. He's not going to be a starting player, but he's going to be there by there as a sub. So my squad right now is actually if there's anything that I'm quite comfortable with this season, but there is the fact that we have a very, very, very great squad depth. So Jesus coming back, man. What do you make of it? We have options, but there's in the center forward. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's exciting news.
Yeah.
Who does not want to see someone like Jesus coming back to your team? Jesus, he has not had a good start to his Arsenal career.
Yeah.
He started so well when he signed for us last year. Then after the World Cup, got injured, was out for a while. Same thing has happened this season. He has not played the first 2 games.
Yeah.
But then now him being available as early as game week 3 is something that brings me excitement, because I know the kind of versatility he brings us, the dynamism he brings to the team. He can move to the left wing. Martinelli plays as a center forward. He's good at holding the ball. Imagine having Gabriel Jesus and then Havertz also. Actually, even Havertz playing in the game can be advantageous, because you saw how he was holding the ball in the game versus Crystal Palace.
He's actually instinctively he's the only guy who had that
attacking
mindset.
After we got that red card. So having Jesus back in the team will be a big boost for us, because he's coming with that hunger. And he's coming with that, that mentality that he has to be back and earn his first place, because you cannot just come and take Eddie's position. Eddie has been good as well. And I saw even Arteta say that we need players like Eddie, because he trains like a beast.
That's the thing.
He never whines, he never he never complains that I'm not getting a chance. You don't give him a chance, he comes and shows you why you need to show him, why you need to give him the chance to play.
So the thing is this, man. That's the thing about now the camp right now. But it's not just a matter of you're just sitting there comfortably saying I'm going to be selected. You have to fight for your position. I think the player that and I think we talked about this some time back. The player that probably maybe needs an option, or rather a backup position. But then we need is Saka. I think we need a backup for Saka, because I can't imagine a situation by Saka gets injured and then now Reece Nelson by the takes off the whole time. Reece Nelson by the, from what I've observed him playing, he's actually a very good player by the off the bench. But giving them full game, never turns up. Remember what this guy but they did versus the game we played versus Bournemouth.
He's a big sub player, like Origi. Someone who can come and change the game. When you need to change the game. Yes.
Off the bench, the guy is very, very dope. But now playing the whole game, no. So I think Saka is actually somebody who needs a replacement. But I think in terms of squad depth right now, I think I'm happy.
Going back to the Saka story, you saw he broke the record for most appearances, consecutive appearances. He's currently tied with the Arsenal legend Mason at 82 games. But then I can't imagine Saka playing the whole season from game week 1 to game week 38. We have FA, we have Champions League, we have Carabao.
He's not going to
He'll
work.
Be overworking.
He's going to be overworking.
He'll get tired towards the end of the season, where we need to push.
And you've seen it happen by the. Remember last season, Saka man, the beginning of the season was so turned on. But just naturally, man, even as a human being, fatigue kicks in, banner. And remember by the in between, these guys, you just think of it, man, how football players need to be very fit. Man, you're always playing. Training, you're always working out. There are games, there's Champions League, there's FA. Apart from that, there are also friendlies.
There's the international break.
Man,
it's a lot. And then, when you play all these games, towards the end of the season, where you need to be sharp, is when you get fatigued. And you cannot afford to have Saka getting fatigued towards the end of the season, where we possibly will be contending for the title.
Definitely.
We need him to be at his best during such times.
So I think that's a position that probably maybe the guys need to look into. We definitely need backup actually for Saka. So now, man, let's end this. Score prediction. What are score predictions?
For me in tomorrow's game, being at home, expect Ramsdale to keep a clean sheet. And it will be a comfortable 2-0 win to the Arsenal.
Okay.
Yes.
For me, man, I've been good with predictions actually of late. I think I see I'm predicting by the 3-0 to the Arsenal. Looking at defense right now, I don't expect us to concede. I mean, I think we've been slowly but surely working on that. Yeah, man. So, yeah, that's my prediction, by the way. So you let us know, by the way, what you think in the comment section. What are your scores prediction? And 3 things I need from you: I need you to like the video, I need you to share the video,
And subscribe, man.
Smash the subscribe button. And we'll be seeing you on the next one.
Thank you for watching. Come on, you Gunners.